Danielle Houchins, born in 1981 to her mother Cheryl Houchins, was affectionately known as Danny. From a young age, Danny was the apple of her mother's eye, and the bond between them was unbreakable. On September 21, 1996, 15-year-old Danielle left her home in Belgrade, Montana, with plans to spend the day fishing at Cameron Bridge Fishing Access, a popular spot she often visited. It was supposed to be a peaceful, solitary escape, just another quiet day by the water. However, what began as a routine outing soon spiraled into a harrowing mystery when Danielle failed to return home. Later that day, searchers discovered her truck parked near the fishing access. The vehicle was left unlocked, with no immediate signs of struggle, but there was no trace of Danielle herself. Hours passed, and as daylight waned, the search intensified, driven by growing fears for her safety. Tragically, those fears were realized when Danielle's lifeless body was found several hours later, face down in shallow water, not far from where her truck was discovered. The evidence of assault was undeniable, and the manner of her demise was as horrific as it was heartbreaking. Her final moments had been spent in terror, as her attacker brutally forced her head down into the marshy ground. As investigators pieced together the tragic events, it became evident that Danielle had been suffocated, with her head held down until she choked to her end on the mud. Who was responsible for taking Danielle Houchins' life? For nearly 28 years, this question remained unanswered. Despite the case going cold, the sheriff's office refused to let it slip into oblivion. In 2019, they reopened the investigation, hopeful that advancements in forensic science might finally bring closure to this tragic chapter. The preserved evidence from Danielle's case was sent to a state-of-the-art forensics lab in California, where it was meticulously analyzed. The DNA was compared against the FBI's CODIS, but no matches were found. Though this was a discouraging outcome, investigators remained steadfast in their pursuit of justice. They turned to a new and promising tool: genetic genealogy. With a court order, they accessed the extensive DNA databases, hoping to find a match that CODIS could not provide. This bold move paid off when a DNA match was found, leading investigators to Paul Hutchinson, a 55-year-old man living in Dillon, Montana. In July 2024, investigators approached Hutchinson at his home, confronting him with questions about Danielle's case. The interaction was tense, and Hutchinson's nervous and erratic behavior raised suspicions. His demeanor suggested he was hiding something far more sinister than anyone could have imagined. Just hours after the interview, on August 9th, 2024, Hutchinson took his own life, abruptly ending the possibility of a full confession. Despite his untimely demise, the case was not closed. Shortly thereafter, forensic analysts confirmed that the DNA evidence from Danielle's case was an undeniable match to Hutchinson. The long-awaited breakthrough had finally come, but it arrived with a mix of relief and sorrow. His family, unaware of his past, was left devastated by the revelation. Hutchinson was married and worked for the Bureau of Land Management for 22 years. He had 2 kids, a daughter around the age of 20 and a younger son. He was a graduate student at Montana State and had only been in the area a short period at the time he took Danny's life. While the confirmation of his guilt brought a sense of resolution to Danielle's family, it also underscored the profound impact of a crime that had gone unsolved for so many years. Danny's younger sister, Stephanie Mollett, said, "Even though this man will not face a jury of his peers, I have no doubt he was the one who forcefully and violently assaulted my sister. When the time came to face up and account for his violence, he instead chose to end his life. He knew of his guilt and could not face my family or his family and the pain he caused. After nearly 28 years without answers, without justice, we celebrate today." Stephanie says 28 years is far too long, and she had to fight far too hard to find justice for her 15-year-old sister. She also said, "Montanans, Danielle's story should anger you. should make you think about your mothers, your sisters, your wives, and your daughters. Should make you think about everything you would do to protect and honor the women you love. The wife of Paul Hutchinson, Christy, has issued the following statement. "We are absolutely heartbroken to learn this news, and our hearts go out to the Houchins family. It is good to know that they will at last be able to find the closure that they deserve. Our own family was already reeling from dealing with Paul ending his own life. In 24 years of marriage, there was never any hint that something like this could be lurking in the background. Paul was an exceptional husband and father. This latest news makes our grieving so much more complicated. We would appreciate being given the space to process and come to terms with this development as we mourn. The investigation into Danny's case is closed. However, law enforcement is still looking into Paul Hutchinson's life and possible connections to other cold cases